Taking responsibility is the key to success. Taking responsibility, that is the key to success. You are responsible for the outcomes in your life. You're responsible for the results you produce. You're responsible for the life you're living now. You're responsible for where you are. You're responsible for what you have. You're responsible for the things going on in your life. You are responsible for the conditions in your life. You're responsible for where you are in life. The power of responsibility takes you away from blaming people, from shifting blame, from holding other people responsible for your life and holding yourself responsible for your life. The power of responsibility puts you in a place of power, puts you in the driver's seat and of your life, because when you're the one driving, you're the one making the decisions, you're the one making the choices, you're the one taking the actions, you're the one moving in the direction of what you want. Therefore, you're the one creating the outcomes in your life. Therefore, you are the one responsible for the results and the things and the conditions in your life. Taking responsibility frees you from a victim mentality, which points fingers at your parents, at your past, at your teachers, at your friends, at the rich, at society, at the government, at your neighborhood, at total strangers. It frees you from a victim mentality. So many people live with a victim mentality. There's always somebody to blame for their failure, somebody to blame for their poverty, somebody to blame for where they are, somebody to blame for their situation in life, somebody to blame for their mediocrity, somebody to blame for what is going on in their life. They never take responsibility for what is going on in their life. Victim mentality makes you a slave to your circumstances and to your situations and to the conditions in your life. Victim mentality holds you bound in chains because you refuse to acknowledge the fact that you are the power in your life. You are responsible for your choices, therefore responsible for the outcomes in your life. Victim mentality holds you down in slavery, in chains. Victim mentality. But listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, you're not a victim. You are not a victim. It doesn't matter what has happened to you. It does not matter what you're going through. It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter how bad things may look. You're not a victim. Listen to me, pay attention to me. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. You have the power. The power is in your hands. The power to change your life, to transform your life, to move from where you are to where you want to be. The power to become all that you visualize, that you imagine yourself to be. You have the power. The power to change and transform your life is in your hands. You hold the key to your success. Responsibility, taking responsibility is the key to success. Taking responsibility puts you in a place of power, puts you in a place of control, puts you in a place of authority in your life. Taking responsibility because you do not hand over your power to anybody. When you make yourself a victim, you hand over your power to people. You give them your power. When you hold somebody else responsible for your life, for the outcomes in your life, you're handing over your power to them. You're giving them your power. You're saying these people control my life. They control my outcomes. They control my situation. They control my conditions. They are God in my life. You're giving those people power. You're making them God and ruler over your life, but they are not. Nobody holds that power over your life. Nobody holds the power of your life. Let me tell you something. Wherever you are right now, you're sitting down in an office, or you're driving, or you're in a home, or wherever you are right now, watching me, listening to me, you made that decision and that choice to be in that place. Do you know something? You could be in 1,000 different places right now, but you chose to be in that place. You chose to be in that place. You could be in 1,000 different places, but you chose to be where you are. Why? Because you have the power. You chose to be where you are. Taking responsibility is the key to success. Taking responsibility for your life is the key to success. Taking responsibility for your action, for your decision, for your choices. Taking responsibility for your relationships is the key to success in life. Take responsibility for your choices. Take responsibility for the relationships that you built. Take responsibility. You have all these relationships you have in your life that you contracted, that you built up. Relationships that are not adding value to your life. Take responsibility for them, because responsibility puts you in a place, in a position, on a platform of power. Responsibility makes you invincible. You're strong because you know that you're the one who's responsible for your life and nobody else. You take responsibility for your life. Responsibility puts you in a place and a position of power. You are the one sitting in the driver's seat of your life, nobody else. You are the one seated. You're sitting in the driver's seat of your life. Take responsibility for your life and stop blaming people. Blame your parents. My parents did this, did that, blah, 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 blah. No, your parents are not responsible for you. You're an adult. Take responsibility for your life. Yes, they did what they could. Yes, they messed up, they screwed up. Yes, I acknowledge that. But do you know what? You're an adult. Take responsibility for your life. Stop wasting your money on therapy and you've been doing therapy for the past 20 years. Therapy, blaming your parents. All the therapists tell you the same thing, that your parents are responsible. Don't you know it's a lie? When are you going to wake up and take responsibility for your life? They've been telling you the same thing, that your parents are responsible. Your parents are responsible. Your parents are responsible. When are you going to wake up as an adult and take responsibility for your life? When? Therapists are telling you that your parents are responsible and you're happy because it makes you feel good. It makes you feel fine. That somebody else is responsible for your problems and for your situations and for where you are. Somebody else. Your parents, your uncle, your aunt, your siblings, your problem, society, the rich, the government. Somebody else is responsible, not you. Not you. Never taking responsibility for what you've done with your life. Never taking responsibility. Responsibility is the key to success. Taking responsibility is the key to success. Stop blaming people. It makes you feel good that, oh, you had trauma when you were a child and that trauma has followed you all through these years. It sounds so beautiful. Man, bring out your violin and play. Oh, it sounds, the trauma, childhood trauma, and it sounds so good. Oh, I was traumatized as a child. Hello, you're an adult right now. Yes, it happened to you. Acknowledge it. I recognize it, that you went through a traumatic situation in your life. I acknowledge it totally. But do you know what? You're an adult. Take responsibility for your life and stop blaming your past. Stop blaming your parents. Stop blaming your siblings. Stop blaming society. Stop blaming government. Stop blaming your friends. Take responsibility for your life, because you are the power behind your life. You are the power, because the power of choice is in your hand, and the power to make decisions is in your hand, and the power to take action is in your hand. You are responsible for your life. Stop this nonsense. Blaming your parents. Haven't you blamed your parents enough? Since you've been blaming your parents, what has happened to your life? Has it changed your life? You've blamed your parents, blamed your mother, blamed your father. How long will you continue blaming them for the things that happened to you? Yes, they did. They messed up and they screwed up. Yes, they traumatized you. I acknowledge that. But there comes a time in your life where you say, listen, it's time for me to stop this nonsense. It's time for me to move on with my life. It's time for me to do something meaningful, something significant with my life. For me to make a difference with my life and stop blaming people for where I am and for what I am, and take responsibility for who I am. Take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility. Some of you were in a relationship and it failed. 5 years ago, it's been 5 years. But you have never given up blaming your partner for your problems. You have never given up. It's always my partner was a problem. My partner was a problem. Hello, it's been 5 years. When are you going to move on and leave the past behind? It's always my partner. My partner did this. My partner did that. My ex did this and my ex did that. It's been 5 years. When are you going to move on and leave that story, that sad, depressing story behind? When are you going to leave that history behind and take responsibility for where you are right now and then make a difference and a change in your life? Because you have the power. Because responsibility is the power and the key for success. Yes, your ex mistreated you. I agree. Yes, your ex was not a nice person. I agree. But it's in the past. Hello. When are you going to leave that behind? When are you going to leave the pain and the problems of the past behind? When are you going to take responsibility for your life now and start living the life that you ought to live? When are you going to take responsibility and start living your dream and pursuing your dream and manifesting your dream? When? Taking responsibility sets you free from victimhood. You're not a victim. You're not a victim, you're a queen. You're not a victim, you're a king. You're not a victim, you're royalty. You're not a victim, you have power. Taking responsibility puts you in a position on a platform of power. I was speaking with a lady and she was complaining about her ex. And she kept on complaining. And I asked her a simple question. Were you forced to be in that relationship? She said no. Could you have left that relationship at any time you wanted? She said yes. I said, then why are you complaining? Why are you making yourself like a victim? You were not forced to be in a relationship and you could have left at any time you wanted, but you chose to remain there. You chose to be there. When you found out, when you one day you just discovered and they said, no, I can't take this anymore, and you left. After explaining to her like this, I said, were you a victim? She said, no, I was not a victim. She said, I chose to be there. I said that you have to think that way, or else you will remain a victim for the rest of your life because you chose to be there. You were not forced, you were not compelled, you were not coerced, you chose to be there. So forgive yourself for your mistake. So you made a mistake. So you're human, you made a mistake. So apologize and forgive yourself. Forgive yourself. Love yourself. Forgive yourself for making that mistake. Never make yourself a victim to anyone. Anyone, don't be a victim. You chose to be there. And the day you realize that you don't have to be there, you walk away and don't make yourself, you're not a victim. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. You've got the power. You're not a victim. You're not. I see many people come on here and they talk about, oh, I don't know a narcissist. I don't know a narcissist, how a narcissist behaves. Hello, listen to me something. Listen to me. Is that narcissist, is that person forcing you to be in that place? Are they forcing you, compelling you to be there? Are they forcing you or compelling? Are they tying you down to be there? No, you choose to be there. You choose to be there. You can be in 1,000 different other places. Are you telling me that person is going to follow you all over the world? Is that person going to follow you all over the world? If you decide you don't want to stay on that continent again, you want to go to another continent, will that person follow you? No, the person will not follow you. Period. In fact, if you move from that one part of town to another part of town, the person will not follow you. They will just leave you alone. So why don't you take responsibility for your life and walk away from those people? In the comments, I keep seeing narcissist. I don't know what the narcissist. What are you talking about? Are you a baby? Are you a child? What are you saying? Are you a child? You're in a relationship that is causing you pain, that is causing you tears, that is taking away your joy and your peace, and you're talking about you're acting like a victim. No, you're not a victim. You've got the power. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. Never concede to being a victim. Never. You're not weak. You're strong. You're strong. Take responsibility for your life. You're not weak at all. You're not weak at all. You're strong. You're mentally strong, emotionally strong, spiritually strong. You're strong. You're not weak. Never concede to weakness. Ever. Don't concede to weakness. It doesn't matter what you're going through. Never concede to weakness. Always tell yourself that you have the power. You have the power. You have the power to determine the things going on in your life. You have the power. If you don't want to be in that job again, walk away. If you don't want to be in that relationship again, walk away. If you don't want to live in that neighborhood, walk away. Move to a better neighborhood. Move to a better town. Move to a better state. Move to a better country. Move to a better continent. Stop acting like a victim. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. You're not a victim. Nobody listening to me right now, you're not a victim at all. You have power. You have power to transform your life, transform your thinking. You can stop any nonsense, any abuse going on in your life and say no more. I don't want this anymore. This thing is no longer happening to me. No, I don't want this abuse. I don't want this insult. I don't want this toxic relationship. I don't want this anymore in my life. You have the power. You have the power.